Welcome. Got this. All right, here's my audience tonight. Yay, my coworkers. They're awesome. Okay, my name is Danielle MacArthur, and I'm doing my speech over nonverbal communications. Nonverbal communication is anything outside of speaking, so using your facial expressions, your body language, your movement, how you dress, things like that. My first source is going to be Louder Than Words, The Hidden Power of Nonverbal Communication at the Workplace by Fred Lundberg from Sam Houston State University. He had the idea of there are 4 different kinds of nonverbal communication. There's kinesics, proxemics, paralanguage, and chronemics. The first one, kinesics, is the study of body movements. So that's going to be anything like how I'm standing, my body posture, if I'm shrugging, standing up straight, leaning in towards someone if they're talking to me, leaning away if they're uncomfortable with the way I'm talking to them. Gestures, typically people who are more excited, they use their hands a lot more. People that are typically nervous kind of keep to themselves, don't use their hands as much. And then facial expressions. So facial expressions are tied in with our emotions. There are 6 universal expressions. That's going to be happiness, sadness, anger, fearful, surprise, and disgust. Those are the ones that typically in most cultures everyone kind of understands how you're feeling at that moment. Eye behavior. That's someone rolling their eyes when they're frustrated with you, or making eye contact with someone when you're having a conversation. You're not having a conversation, or if you are having a conversation with someone and they're not making eye contact with you, it kind of shows that they're not paying attention to you most times. And then touching, hugging someone, that's a sign of comfort, or an agreement, shaking a hand, situations like that. Second one is proxemics, and that's how we use and perceive the space around us. For this one, I would like some volunteers to demonstrate this. There was a well-known anthropologist named Edward Hall, and he came up with the idea of personal space zones. This is Griffin and Tyler. Okay, let's get a little closer. It's right here. This is called the intimate zone. This is anywhere between 0 to 2 feet. This is someone that you are pretty much intimate with and have a good conversation you're comfortable with. Next is the personal zone, which is 2 to 4 feet. Let's get a little bit far apart. This is how people talk and just, you kind of know the person, you're comfortable with them, but it's a good, safe distance. You're not too close to that person. And then we have the 4 to 12 feet, which is going to be kind of out of the zone, but yeah. That is the social zone. So it's like, in a social setting, you're like, oh, hey, what's up? And then public zone is beyond 12 feet. So really far. Yeah, you guys can't even see it anymore. But those are the personal space zones. You guys can sit back down. Thank you. Those are my visual aids, by the way. Okay. Then we have paralanguage, which is variations in speech. That's going to be the tone of how someone's talking, or how loud, tempo. Typically when someone is nervous, like me, you're talking a little bit faster than usual. And excited, you're talking a little fast. Like, I usually call my mom, and if I have excited to tell her something, she's always like, slow down, Danny, you're talking too fast. Okay, sorry. And then I would assume when someone's typically angry, they kind of talk a little bit slower. If they're frustrated with someone, they just, or sarcastic, kind of get a butthole. And then there's chronemics. It's the use of time, which is being on time versus late. And that can be anywhere from relation to status. So if you have someone who's a CEO of a company and they're coming in late to a meeting, that kind of perceives the person, because the way they're dressed and who they are, they probably just have a busy schedule, versus someone who, say, at a lower level position, if they're late to work, it's kind of like, you just couldn't get to work on time, couldn't get ready on time. A little bit not as well perceived. And how I would relate this to my job is, us all working in the service industry, non-verbal communication is really important. Being able to mask our frustrations, or if we're overwhelmed, even with working with customers, making eye contact. It's like, I'm letting you know that I'm listening to you, I'm getting your order in, or if how the customers say they're, looking around for me, meaning, hey, I need you, I need some help. So that's just nonverbal cues of how we should, at work. Okay, my second source is Nonverbal Communication, Interaction, and Gesture, selections from Semiotica. The author is Day Gruder, edited by Adam Kindon. And Day Gruder had the idea that communication is always intentional. You know, when someone rolls their eyes at me, if they're frustrated with me, they want me to know that they're frustrated. So they're going to roll their eyes and I'm going to see that frustration both ways. And even in conversation, if someone is leaning too close to me and I'm uncomfortable with that, I typically kind of lean away because I want them to know that they're making me uncomfortable and I want them to pull away from those situations. These actions, they just show how we all feel in these social situations and what's comfortable and what's uncomfortable. All right, and then my last source is our book for class, Human Communications by Griffin, Bone, and Wood. They talk about in the text, it says nonverbal communication is ambiguous, meaning we can never be sure how others interpret what we're meaning to say by not saying things, if that makes sense. So in conclusion, it's just always be meaningful of your actions and always take into account how others will perceive what you're trying to say or not say, because people read most people that way. That makes sense. All right, and that's all. Thanks.